These last couple days, can't say it's been good.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared. It's been tough out there, man. You know?
Yeah,
it's real hot.
It's real hot.
Yeah, a lot going on. It just felt right.
Yeah, sure.
What are you going to say? I bet you're going to introduce the episode.
Yeah, I was going to move along and keep things.
Please.
So
be insulted if you didn't.
Wouldn't be doing my job. So it's a new movie, right? New week, new movie, new episodes. Teardown coming. So of course, as always, we're going to start with the trailer. So a little trailer trash time. We're actually doing something very new, which I'm excited about.
Same. Well, I was until I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score. Now I'm not excited, but I was
not excited.
Yeah, excited for the Man from Toronto, and I can tell you what that's about. So, the world's deadliest assassin and New York's biggest screw up are mistaken for each other at an Airbnb rental.
Do you think this?
Enough said.
Need
I say more?
Yeah. It's just a giant Airbnb ad. Like what?
Yes.
Why does it have to be? Okay. Yeah.
Airbnb probably. I mean, what do you think Kevin Hart got paid for this movie? Like $5 million?
Yeah, probably. Right.
Airbnb probably covered it. They were like, we got Kevin Hart. You do the rest. Netflix
Done.
and
Netflix, Sony, and Braun Films. Yeah, we'll cover it. We'll cover the Hart's cost.
Yeah. I was suspicious of Braun, whatever that is. But
yeah, I was too. We'll dig into that when we get there. But yeah, okay. So the world's deadly assassin, New York's biggest screw up. I'm curious to see why he's New York's biggest screw up. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So. I mean, there's 12 million people in New York, so.
Are you the biggest one? I mean, I think if you can get an Airbnb rental out and vacationing, you're probably not that big of a screw up, right?
I think you're doing all right.
You're probably doing all right.
Yeah, all these bougie IMDb logline writers out there.
Yeah. I think we also we'll get into it. Okay, so that's the movie. The Man from Toronto came out in 2022 this year, right? Last month, actually.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Whenever it came out.
Yeah, I prefer when you date things. So yeah, right about last month, I think.
That's your job as a date thing.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, I didn't say the date. I just said we just said last month. That's fine.
Right. I mean, I guess we could say it came out June 24th, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. Every month had a previous month, Russ.
But everyone knows when this came out because we're going to say it at the end because it's part of the trailer. So.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, June 24th. Great. June 24th, 2022.
The year of the rat. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. It's a great question. What is the year? What? Maybe it's like the cow. Does that alternate between?
I got you. It's the year of the tiger, baby.
Ooh, nice. Okay, nice. Okay. Year of the tiger. Okay. Right. Yeah.
I agree.
Feels like a year of the tiger, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so before we get into breaking down this trailer, that's the movie, The Man from Toronto. Netflix doing a lot of Canadian movies, by the way. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Oh, yeah. Cheap to film credits. It's all about taxes.
Right? It always is.
It's create value for the shareholders, Russ.
Right. So before we get into breaking down the trailer fan service, do we have anything?
We don't. So, listeners, shame on you. But not too much shame. Enough shame that you feel guilty enough to send us an email. Not enough shame that you feel off-put by this. Put off? Off-put?
Off-put.
Put off.
Put off? Put off?
Yeah.
No.
But send us an email. Tell us. Off-put? Put off. In that particular sentence. Or anything else you could possibly ever want to say, and we'll read it here in this very segment as I live and breathe this segment.
Get your moments of fame right here.
It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com.
Okay.
I guess we should just talk about the trailer then, right?
As we sit right now,
it looks bad.
Yeah. I mean, what did you? Well,
should we give our impressions at the end when we prognosticate? I started prognosticating my notes. That's how bad this trailer was, in my opinion. I was like, I know exactly what's going to happen in this movie.
So I don't know okay. Well, yeah, let's get into the trailer. So right now, this movie sits at 21% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
ugh.
Yeah. Fan score of 43%. So still, yikes. That's tipped over popcorn right there, right?
Yep, sure.
That's spilt popcorn. Whoopsies.
Is that the rating?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever noticed. It's usually the audience score is always like usually acceptable.
It's usually higher than the critical score. I mean, sometimes you get like they all even out.
Yeah. This is a bad sign.
Yeah. I think when they're really bad, the audience score is a little bit higher because, and then when the movie is rated really high, like the audience score is like just a little bit lower, I think usually.
Well,
and I think kind of interesting analysis, actually. I don't know if that's, true, but just from what I've seen.
Yeah. ITMT data analysis. We could definitely do that.
Yeah. We can get our data analysts to start crunching this, right?
Yeah. I was actually, that's right. Ryan Smalls, I believe, is working on it right now.
Is that right? Is that a real person or is
Nope. Well, yes. I mean, as real as Donna Mint. You going to tell Donna Mint she's fake?
I mean, she's been missing for a while, but I mean, not like she's missing, but we know where she is. Yeah. Just busy.
Look, if you want to be the one to break the news to her that she's fake, I'll let you have it. But I would not want that to be me.
No, I am not. That is an HR nightmare right there.
Exactly.
Donna, come to my office, but you're fake. Like, yikes.
Where I was going with that was when you got star power like Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson, like how many points does that just add off the top?
Right. Yeah. What does that get you?
As far as audience score goes.
Yeah, because I think tomato meter here, I don't think that matters, because obviously that's a critical score, but the audience score, I think right off the bat you get probably 10% just for
at least,
right?
Yeah. Oh, Woody from Cheers. Yeah. 15 points. Even on the last few we've done, popcorn has been upright.
Yeah, it has, because audiences also,
they're very forgiving. That's you, listeners.
Yeah.
Forgiving of us, forgiving of movie studios.
Yes.
I was going to say, did you see... But I'm going to get us off on a tangent immediately.
You already did. I was already like, I forgot where we're going with this topic, but whatever. Let's just keep going.
Yep. Yeah.
Live TV, baby. Fix and post.
Did you watch True Story by any chance?
True Story, no.
Oh, dude, it's good. And I think you'll like it for a number of reasons.
Is it based on True Story?
No. I don't think so. Actually, it's hard to say. So Kevin, it's Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Netflix series, loosely based on his life, like very loosely, very, very loosely, and then quickly diverges.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you'll see what I mean when you watch it, because it's really good.
Is it on? It's on Netflix.
I only watched like the first 7 episodes, and I meant to keep going, and then I didn't. But it's like about him being a comedian. It's like being a comedian and having to deal with your fans and like getting famous weirdly quickly and people not understanding your comedy necessarily. And
interesting.
Anyway,
when did that come out?
I'm Kevin Hart fan. Recently, I think they came out in 2021. Like, not to date the podcast, but
whatever. It's fine. Everyone knows what day it is.
Yeah.
Is this a? Do you think did it feel like a? Hey, this is who I am. It's not based on my comments on Twitter. Kind of like something you would. Remember he had some issues with Twitter jokes that didn't land all that well for a very long time ago.
It had elements of that.
Like hey, this is who I am, which I feel like sometimes people will do as like a you don't get it until you get it type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah. And struggling with interacting with fans in public, like that's going to make some weird situations for you, or keeping your family life together afterwards.
I can imagine it's stressful.
Yeah, and then it takes a fun twist, but I won't spoil it for you.
Yeah, don't
just
spoil
enjoy
it.
it. Just enjoy it.
All right, I'll check it out. Well, should we get into this? We should trash this trailer.
Yeah, I guess we might as well do the thing we came here to do.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. So, I think this comes in hot, right? This comes in
nice and hot,
just
like Netflix has been lately.
Yeah, just get.
We've done a couple Netflix originals in the past few, haven't we?
We have. I think
Choose or Die. You got at least that one.
Yep. There's one other
one. At least one more.
Yeah, at least one more. At this point, we've done so many like veterans, you can't remember them all, right? So
that's right. We're getting close to 150 episodes now, so we can't.
Right? Celebration time. Someone better get us a cake.
Can't be expected to remember them all.
I want a cake.
Do we have cake every 50 episodes? Is that a thing we should start doing?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Remember, cake or coffee? We're going cake. So
perfect.
Mm-hmm. It's a deep cut for the hardcore listeners.
Brazen was the other one.
Oh, that's it. Yes, Brazen, which we did like not that long ago.
This is going really well.
The human memory. Anyways, so we start off, we come in pretty hot, right? We get voiceover we get some mysterious person walking out of a car. We get some feet shot, right? And we get a voiceover. I love
a good leg shot, yeah.
Right? Good leg shot coming out of
next to a sports car.
That's a good leg shot. That sounds terrible.
That's for the listeners to decide.
Yep. Good point. Get out of a car, walking around. We got a voiceover from a woman asking if Toronto here, if he's ready to go back, right, to work.
And like, meanwhile, someone's like grabbing a gun off of a shelf. Like it's like very,
yeah. It's kind of slow mo-y, and it's like kind of building like, what is this mysterious thing? By the way, that shelf is loaded with weapons. There's like a couple of guns, and there's like a bunch of grenades and flashbangs, all that sort of stuff, right?
Kingsman-esque.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, it's like a weapons storage locker where you go in like that movie and they open it up like, do we need a gun? Yeah, I got some. Kind of one of those moments. Mm-hmm. And we get a close up of the Charger logo. I'm assuming they paid maybe some money for that. I'm guessing.
Yeah, between Airbnb and Charger.
Why do we need to see the Charger logo? All right, cool. And then we cut to like Woody Harrelson. Well, I mean, we know who it is, right? It's him and his close up of his eyes, the sunglasses on, right?
Yeah, I totally got that.
Yeah. Voiceover's continuing, right? It's like, we need an extraction of information. Yep. Then we get a top-down shot of the Charger driving in the desert, clearly going somewhere to do something. We're like building this up to think that like, all right, the next scene is going to be cutting to wherever he's got to be, right?
It's gonna be a dope spy movie, yeah.
And then it cuts to like a outside shot of the like this cottage like on a lake, right, out in the woods,
right. And we get the voiceover, meet at the safe house in 19 hours, and like this cottage looks awesome,
right?
Like. I've always wanted one of those giant carved bears,
Yeah.
Listeners who are out of the country might not. I don't know how common that is in other parts of the world.
Having like wood carving animals.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. I love it.
Here in the States, you can have like an 8-foot tall bear carved out of a log and put it in your front yard, and it's a sign of stability and respect.
Yeah. I've got I've got a guy who can do that.
You got a guy for that?
Yeah.
Chainsaw guy or
chainsaw tools? Guy.
Both?
Most of the stuff I've seen he's done was only like 2-3 feet high, but he'll still do. Yeah, it's awesome.
Hook me up.
Absolutely.
Texting him right now.
Yeah, give me an animal. Well, give me an animal. I'll send it to him. Buy the wood. Done.
Perfect.
Done.
Glad we had this talk. Anyway, this place looks awesome.
It looks so. So I will say, like at first, I was like, "Oh, this looks like the same cabin in space they used." Did you see that movie, The Adam Project, the other Netflix movie with Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah. It does look kind of like that,
right? I did some homework. It's not. This movie was all filmed in Ontario, obviously Toronto, and all this stuff. Well, not Toronto, but Ontario. And then that movie was that movie was done in Vancouver. So
that makes sense.
But it looks a lot like it. So yeah.
Big shout out to our Canadian listeners. This is for you.
Yeah. Love you guys.
This whole episode is for you.
Yeah. It's all Ontario, right? So meet into the safe house. And then we cut to the door of the safe house opening up, and we got Kevin Hart. And he's like, we got some big burly mean dude who opens the door, and he's like, "You're early."
Yeah.
We got
if you're on time, you're late. Ain't that right? Which I hate that expression, but it's true.
Yeah, I guess it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Huh. Listeners, let us know. What do you think about being on time?
It's being on time, being late.
And that's when we get our production company title card, right?
Yeah, Netflix, Sony, and Braun.
Yeah. No, it's Braun.
Yeah.
It's all caps.
Yeah, it's true. It's Braun. I didn't know this. I thought that, so Sony Pictures, I thought this was just a complete Netflix thing, but I guess not.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Like Sony does a lot with Netflix. I think that's how they got the Adam Sandler deal on Netflix.
That makes sense.
I don't think it was a bitterness thing of Adam Sandler turning away from Sony. I think it was like can we pass them off to you, please?
Yeah. Can you deal with this, please?
And Netflix was like, all right, only if you also help.
Fine. He brings in a ton of viewers from all parts of the world.
Yeah, that's right. We love Adam Sandler, New Hampshire's favorite son.
Hopefully there's a good Sony Pictures Netflix, because Morbius, which is well under 30%, hopefully will land on Netflix soon, so we can do that.
I actually just watched that 2 weeks ago.
I was dying to do that movie.
But I would watch it again because I liked it. And Thais didn't watch it. I watched it on a plane, so we were right next to each other. So I was like, I'm going to watch this.
Man,
you watch a different thing. Yeah.
Well, we need to do a Sony month, because Sony superhero or anti-hero movie month, because not only is Morbius under 30%, and it didn't look good from the trailers. It looked
it's bad, but I liked it.
Like eating raw sugar. It's so bad for you, but it's so good.
Right. Such a bad boy.
But Venom, the first movie, is also under 30%, but apparently that movie's a blast. Yeah. I haven't seen it.
Which I also liked. Yeah. Well, love Venom. I actually liked. Yes. Morbius, I liked. As
kind of like
ironically,
like a guilty pleasure, kind of like.
Yeah, it was fun. It was less fun than Venom, but it was still fun. But yeah, we should do Morbius anyway, because I would watch it again.
Okay. Well, when we get there, we'll get there. So we get the production companies, and we cue the funky music, right? Because obviously we've gotten the first joke out there. Kevin Hart, right?
Yep.
That's what it is. So then we're back to the Airbnb, and we get the mean dude. He's like, follow me, whatever. And Kevin Hart's like, you're going to take me on the tour here, right? Being like a little confused, it seems. Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see what the setup is for why he thinks that maybe he thinks this guy owns the place and he's showing him around. Maybe that's the setup.
Must be.
Yeah. Right? Then I head downstairs, and Kevin Hart's doing Kevin Hart stuff. He's like, is this the game room? Oh, yeah. And then we just get a big scream of, oh, shit, as we're just kind of sitting in the living room. We hear him down in the basement screaming, right?
Yep.
Kind of setting up what the hell's that?
Discovered the guy who's chained up in the downstairs.
Yeah.
And so this is when we get the big guy here, the big scary dude, introducing Kevin Hart to the chained up guy, saying, this is the man from Toronto, and he's here to torture you.
And Kevin Hart, of course, is like, what? I'm like, what? The man from where? What? The man from where?
Mm-hmm. Title card, this summer.
And of course,
fun time.
Yeah, when you're having a fun time, you know what you do? You cue the DMX, right?
Rest in peace.
And
don't give it to you.
Yeah, right? Man, this song has gotten so much play in so many trailers and so many movies lately. Ever since Deadpool, right? Deadpool, I think, really revived it with the DMX.
I think so, yeah.
Right? That was a big one.
DMX never went anywhere.
No, but I mean, it never went anywhere. Well, I mean, right? But
he's
gone. Yeah.
Back to Jersey, I guess.
He's left the plane of existence, but
well, right now he's dead. Yeah.
but
well, I meant in the 2000s. But I mean, he was always there.
Yeah, he was always there. But then bringing more to the forefront, I think it was Deadpool, kind of reminding you, like, oh yeah, DMX, hell yeah,
oh yeah,
right?
Yeah,
it's gonna give it.
What
to
a
you.
guy.
Yeah. Anyways, so the summer, right? And then we get a quick shot. We're outside of a high school.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was a high school, and then there's a giant sign on the left that was there was a play going on called The Chipmunk and the Wolf, put on by the local high school students. Yeah. So there's FBI and cops everywhere, and this was a setup from we cue into a voiceover. From this point, there's a lot of cutting back and forth and voiceover, right? Between scenes we set up between him in the basement, and they do this quite a bit through the rest of the trailer.
There's really nothing of consequence that happens, but there's a lot of there's a lot of cutting back and forth. Yeah.
Wow. So we get a voiceover. So we meet the FBI. We got a team here. We got a woman and the guy who doesn't say anything, but the woman, she's like, "Why in God's name are you in that cabin?" Mm-hmm. And Kevin Hart just kind of his face is covered in glitter or something. I don't know what that looked like.
I think it might have been. Oh, I don't know. See, I thought it was bomb residue or something, because I thought this was still at nearby the Airbnb, because they makes him, they show his face right after he gets blown up.
He's got it on his face, right? Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's nearby the Airbnb.
Okay. Then he goes on and he explains, he kind of sets up the plot for us, right?
Right. He's explaining that he had to pretend to be the guy because the guy thought that I was the guy, and if I wasn't the guy, then I would have gotten killed by the other guy. And
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude.
Very Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
This is when they kind of flash back a scene to when he's torturing the guy or whatever he's about to, kind of thing. And the FBI raids the cabin, like when he's like, they're finally trying to get him. And so like, oh, that's just how we got to here.
Yeah. And he's doing his best of like, he's explaining like he had to pretend to be like this guy. And then he's doing his best, intimidation kind of threatening. He's like, I'm going to poke your eyes out with these. They want me to torture that guy, whatever. I'll dig these thumbs in your goddamn eyes and love it. And it's very Kevin Hardy. And then we get the grenade dropping into the basement, and then we got wall blows out and FBI shows up and helicopters swoop in and gunfire left and right takes out the other goons there.
Everybody dies, right? Except Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's tossed across the room out the opposite wall, and then we cut to a bunch of agents with guns standing over him, and he's like, what'd I do?
And then the FBI explains to him in the next scene that the only way they can find the man from Toronto is if he continues to be the man from Toronto. Which is a trap for sure. Not to prognosticate, but that seems unlikely.
That seems a little bit. But hey, disbelief, suspension. So then we get a title card from the director of The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yeah, did you see that?
I did. The first one? Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I thought it was fun. Yeah.
Super fun. Ryan Reynolds, Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Who else is in that? Doesn't matter.
That's it.
Good movie.
Yeah. There's a sequel. Then there's a Hitman's Bodyguard. Yeah, that's it. There's just the two of them. And then there's a Hitman's Bodyguard's wife, which is a sequel.
Which I've been wanting to see, and I have not yet.
Which I think, according to the tomatoes, is better.
Really?
I think, score-wise.
Huh. That's great news for me.
Yeah, because the
as a fan of that movie.
Because the Hitman's Bodyguard, 43%. But the audience loved it. Popcorn's not tipped over.
It's a crowd pleaser, not a critical. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, right?
Yeah, the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Oh, that's worse.
Much worse.
But the audience scores that's
much higher.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, we could do this. I listed this. It's 26% on the tomatoes, but then the audience score, they loved it.
Great. I'll say that'll be a good excuse for me to make us watch that. Because I've been wanting to watch that for a while.
It's done. It's happening.
Perfect.
So we got so that's the director, that guy who we'll talk about in part one.
Usually does good work. I had high hopes for this. I wanted, before we even talked about doing this movie for the podcast, I was like, I kind of wanted to watch that. I suggested to Thais this past weekend, actually. She was like, we should watch a movie tonight. And I was like, you know what I would kind of want to watch? That new Kevin Hart, Woody Harrelson joint. And we didn't.
I looked at the director's, I forget his name already. I'm not going to look it up, but I looked at what he's done. He's only done like 5 or 6 movies, but like he had one, his first movie, which rated pretty high, but then he did he's just kind of fallen into this like action comedy thing, like Hitman's Bodyguard, this movie, like this action comedy stuff that's just kind of like, it's fluff. I like action comedies. Yeah, I know, I do too. I mean, it's fun. It's like fluffy and it's easy and it's like, I shouldn't say it's not. I shouldn't say it's easy, but it's a particular genre of just like, okay, this isn't. Yeah. It doesn't need to be smart. You throw a couple stars in there and call it a day. And,
give me a Rush Hour. Give me a Rush Hour any day of the week. Yeah. What a great movie.
I mean, Rush Hour that's actually a really good movie.
Yeah, same genre. That's what I'm saying.
Same genre, but the quality. I mean, Rush Hour is so much better.
Sure. Much better. Tomato.
Anyway, so that's who we got helming this whole thing. So then we get someone opening a door, right? And we get Woody all in black, looking like his best Judge Doom there.
Yeah.
And then there's more of Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart, basically, right? And him doing a voiceover about how the man to look for is a real crazy person. They cut between him saying this and Woody Harrelson unrolling his bag of torture knives and stuff like this, and he's sharpening them and blah blah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and we cut to an airplane.
And this is a weird scene that I'm kind of interested how they do, because Woody Harrelson like breaks into the bottom of the airplane mid-flight.
Yeah, he's hanging out and just pops up from the bottom of the deck, and he's like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Yep. Which
it's like it's a big cargo plane. It's like one of those big cargo planes.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
And he's just apparently hiding out, just opens up the hatch like he's, hiding out in the Millennium Falcon. And it's just like, yep, what's up?
Right. And he's like, I'm the man from Toronto.
He's like, well, first he's like, hola, which.
I mean,
that's, hello.
Were they Spanish speaking?
Don't know.
People on the plane?
Don't know. I think we'll figure this out.
Okay.
Hola. So, And then they have him and Kevin Hart have a back and forth about who the man, that one of them is the man from Toronto. It seems like Kevin Hart is has been captured, is in captivity by like 4 or 5 armed men.
It does seem that way. Yeah.
And or maybe he's part of this group and he's
tomato. Maybe
not part of it, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And then Woody Harrelson does a quick jab to Kevin Hart's throat, chest, whatever, twists his arm, and he's like, and he's like, this is on you. And then he just kicks the shit out of the other 4 guys.
Exactly. And then that's when presumably that scene ends. We cut to the next scene where the 2 of them are having a little heart to heart, and Woody Harrelson's basically like, you need to continue to pretend to be me.
Yeah, they're in like some clothing store. Well, there is a quick before that. There's a quick shot of the plane going down, which does tie to later scenes where the plane's crashed. So that's probably some more hijinks that they have to go through, and I'm sure they have some good back and forth commentary. Maybe chat.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Dialogue. Well, but yeah, then they cut to a clothing store, and Kevin Hart's now getting suited up, and
right.
Hey, my client thinks that you're me, and you're going to complete this mission. You're going to continue to be me. So basically, Kevin Hart's getting squished on both sides here, from the FBI and from Woody Hart, classic.
It's a classic Kevin Hart situation. Like every movie he's in.
Yeah, the tale oldest time, right?
Yeah. It's usually like his wife and Ice Cube, I think, but he's always getting pushed on both sides.
So Kevin Hart basically has no idea what's going on, and Woody Harrelson's very intense, and and as he's like getting really intense, and they're in this elevator together, and they're Woody Harrelson staring him down, and Hart looks really scared, and he lets out a little squeaker of a fart.
Kind of funny, and by funny I mean not funny.
No. And he's like, "My bad. You don't have to kill me." And he hugs Woody, and Woody's like, "Don't ever touch me like that again." So it's.
Have we talked about how big a fan I am of Ride Along in a previous? I think we talked about that, right? In episodes?
We've talked about this quite a bit.
I'm glad. I just want to make sure that we talked about it again.
Yes. Yep. Nope.
It's important to me.
You've mentioned Ride Along in a lot of episodes. Yeah.
It's important to
me. Yeah.
Listeners, let us know. Is it important to you too? A top action comedy. One of my favorite genres of movie.
So then we get a quick zoom weird shot of it. I think maybe Miami. I don't know where it was on the water. It looked like a pretty big city. Whatever. Anyway.
Oh, I don't recognize places. Yeah,
it did.
That's your job.
Yeah, like people's faces, you don't recognize places.
Oh yeah, I just don't recognize anything.
Yeah, people, places, or things you don't recognize nouns.
Nope. Unless it's Ride Along, I'm not interested. The only thing I care about in this world.
So then this is where, and then this trailer I think really ramps up here, right? Like we get some quick
shots.
Of quick
cuts.
Yeah. We get a quick cut of Woody kind of doing like a waving. He's like waving someone on. I'm assuming waving Kevin Hart along. Then we get Kevin Hart entering a room full of dudes like tied up at like a conference table.
Yep.
And like Woody like on a mic set up, they walking him through how to be him basically. And he's like you got to own the situation, blah, blah, blah. Wave the knives around.
Wave the knives around.
Yeah, and he cutting to, Kevin Hart waving knives around like he knows what he's doing. And then he like accidentally cuts one of the guys in the face because he's swinging.
Like, not just in the face. Like, I think he cuts that guy's eye out, kind of.
Gets him like right underneath the eye, so his eyeball starts filling with blood. And Hart looks at it and he just starts like getting sick. And then we got Woody Harrelson telling him to swallow it. And he just vomits all over another guy's face. And Woody reacts. He's like, "You are a train wreck." Well, he's the biggest screw up in New York. So
I've heard that from the log line.
And then we get our
not at all evident in the trailer, but according to the log line.
Yeah. So we get a title card. Kevin Hart. Quick shot of him. Being Kevin Hart.
Yep, just existing.
They don't give a title card to Woody Harrelson, do they?
They do in a second.
Oh, they do.
That's when.
That's right.
Yeah, that's when we get a quick cut of some mysterious woman behind a curtain saying, "The clients want you both dead."
Yeah, so I think that's his handler. That's Woody Harrelson's like handler, right? And she's like, they want you both dead. And then it cuts to him and Hart getting into some action. Woody kicking some ass. Plane exploding in the background.
Balcony.
Yeah, Hart gets thrown off the balcony, which is probably why he catches on that structure in the middle there.
Yeah,
he's freaking out.
Title card.
Woody Harrelson. Yeah, and then a shot of Woody looking in his hat, looking ominous.
We get that's when we get Kevin Hart's line. These last couple of days, I can't say it's been good. Cut with more explosions in between. They're both kind of like running away in slow motion from things. It's like a very stereotypical action movie trailer at this point.
Yeah, we got a couple of the car chase. We got a Cadillac only SUV car chase going on.
Yeah, but he's saying that Woody Harrelson has inspired him, and that they're getting along now apparently. When some guy gets hit by a car, and it's kind of funny. It's a good play for laughs because they got too actiony for a second there.
Yeah. Because you had military dudes breaking through windows, another cop car chase, whatever. Hart and Woody running while cars are blowing up behind them. So like all the actions, like they're showing us everything, right?
Yep. He complains he doesn't want to be the man from Toronto anymore, and Woody's like, one more time, baby.
Yeah, and then fire up the DMX again, right? And Woody kicking ass to the beats, to the timing, to the music there. It's typical, right?
Yeah. And then we have to close it with a classic joke, right? Classic Kevin Hart joke.
Yeah, we got Kevin Hart hanging from like some structure inside. I'm assuming he grabs on this when he gets tossed over a balcony earlier. And he's yelling, "You shot me in the ass." And Woody's like, "Your ass got in my way." And then Hart falls from the structure, and then we cut to title card, The Man from Toronto.
Just the worst.
Then another title card, June 24th. And then another thing, Netflix.
And thank God there was no after final title card.
Oh, yeah. No, they used it up just before that. I think that would have been another trailer cut. That would have been the jump to, They would have done title card, and then they would have done the "you shot me in the ass" thing, and then cut to Netflix.
Agreed. You hate to see it.
To see it. And then the last 30 seconds is basically just click on a bunch of Netflix stuff.
I was really looking forward to this.
When I first saw the trailer for it, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this sounds like it'd be fun. And then first time I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks
like a nightmare, right?
Yeah. Thanks. I could probably watch many other things on my list that are much better. So I could rewatch a movie that I really like.
I'd watch Scarface for the 50th time easily. Probably my most watched movie, weirdly.
Scarface, really?
I don't know, man. I went in the, like all teenage boys, I feel like I had a big Scarface kick.
Did you have the poster over your bed?
Oh, I had in college, absolutely.
Like you're some gangster?
Yeah, like every 17, 18-year-old boy that grew up after 1986. Or whenever that movie came out. Absolutely. Love Scarface.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Unlike
this movie. So I guess let's prognosticate with Jared and Russ.
Yeah. Let me tell you what's going to happen in this movie.
Okay.
I knew it as soon as we got that behind the curtain scene being like, the clients both want you dead. It's obviously the FBI lady, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So frustratingly obvious that it's the FBI lady. Like, I don't want to watch the movie now because I think that's the big reveal.
I think that is too.
And now I'm like, Red Notice, another Netflix movie, action comedy, did poorly by the critics. I don't think quite this poorly, but right around ITMT worthiness. But that movie was enjoyable, and it had a couple of twists that I didn't see coming. And it was mostly fun. This one, I don't think is going to have that. I think I'm going to know.
No.
I think I'm going to know from 10 minutes in exactly how the movie's going to end, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be the journey. It should be the adventure of getting there, right?
What? Yeah, but if the jokes in the trailer are any indication, it's not going to be well written. No,
they're not good. They're not good. There wasn't one that was even good. No. I was struggled to pull a quote. That's these last couple of days, I can't say it's been good. Again, I was like, well, just trying to find a reflection on my own life at this point. I don't, there's nothing worth reading here from the script. This trailer is stupid and all of the quotes are infuriating. I'm curious to see is he being set up from the beginning? Why is he my biggest question is why is he New York's biggest screw up? Why is that a thing?
Oh, I'll tell you why. It's because he's playing the character of Ride Along. His wife is you got to get a real job and do whatever else that you need to do. It's exactly, he's exactly the same character as all of the other movies Kevin Hart's in. Yeah.
And now I'm trying to even do wishful thinking, and that's tough.
Wishful thinking, I think, is Ted Danson appears, special guest. I think we do a Cheers reunion at one point.
Yeah. Sam Malone. Sam Malone is actually the client who wants Woody Harrelson. Player Sam Malone. That's right. who is actually the client wants Woody Harrelson dead because he was taking over the bar, and he was right.
Yep, and the FBI woman is actually Rhea Perlman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
unlike the actor that it actually was in the movie.
Yes. Yes.
Instead, it's Rhea Perlman, and there's a Cheers reunion. Kirstie Alley's not in it, because she stinks.
Yeah,
and everyone's happy at the end. Ted Danson rips.
Yeah, and it's
huge Ted Danson fan.
In the end, it ends like a Scooby-Doo episode where they just remove the FBI lady's mask and like, oh, it's been Rhea Perlman the entire time, and it's like, oh no, it weren't for you damn kids.
Yes,
I would have gotten away with it.
Yep.
And then they all go down to Cheers, and they all know their names, and they have a beer, and then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, right? That sounds like a delight.
That sounds like a great movie.
I would watch that in a heartbeat. I'd watch Kevin Hart in Cheers. He like replaces Frasier.
Yeah. And Kevin Hart moves to Boston because now that would make him,
Seattle. Well, moves to Seattle. I think we turn him into Frasier.
So then he's no longer a screw up. He's just Seattle's.
Can't go to Cheers anymore.
Can't go to Cheers. Nope. No.
You're out of that one. Oh yeah, we shipped him across the country.
That feels more in line.
I just want this to be Cheers.
Yeah.
I guess.
For everybody knows your name. Dun, dun, dun.
Where's Norm?
Norm sitting at the other bar. Oh God. Okay. Yeah, that feels about right.
I want that movie.
They just all end up at Cheers. They just walk down the stairs. Or no, it ends actually the movie ends with Sam Malone just, looking at the bar one last time and just flicking the lights off.
Yep.
Locking up. And scene.
It's a perfect movie.
Yeah, that's it. Anything else you no?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back next week with our full breakdown. Oh my God.
I want this to be Cheers. So
I know. Now you've got that in my head. They sent Kevin Hart to Seattle to be Frasier. He's in the witness protection program as Frasier. And Frasier ends up.
They put him in a Kelsey Grammer prosthetic suit.
So really, the entire time, Frasier is actually Kevin Hart as Frasier in Seattle.
This movie is going to be Cheers meets White Chicks. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. So, all right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Next week, full breakdown. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at @HitsThisMeetsThat, or ITMT Pod on Twitter, and wherever you're listening, you can subscribe or follow Spotify and all those other device services and stuff that we're on. And if you like laughing at our jokes as much as we do, leave us a review on those sites that you were subscribing to us on. That would be appreciated, especially Apple and Spotify. Or if you want to tell us, how much we like to make ourselves laugh, you can send us an email. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. Mentioned it earlier in the trailer trash. We'll read them on the air later. Or if you forgot everything we just said, you don't even know what we're talking about. Like, what's ITMT? What does this even mean? Go to our website. Yeah. Have all the information.
Hit it.
It's thismeetsthat.com.